So this is Raz. Raz is an American parakeet or budgerigar. She just turned 6 this past summer. She is the most spoiled parrot in the world. I just ignore the fact that I need to actually clean out her cage. What I am doing today is I am doing a cleaning of her equipment and swapping stuff around. I like to try to do this twice a year. She has a ton of toys and a lot of space because she is solo, and I want to try and keep her entertained and give her plenty of space so she can flap around in the cage if she wants. I give her out of cage time too, which she doesn't always take, although she always likes having the door open, so she has the option. There's the cat. He can't come in because he wants to eat her. So she's got a bunch of different perches, as you can see. I've got a mineral perch. I've got this, one of these concretey perches. Those two are supposed to be good for their little toes because they trim their talons, and you're supposed to give them different types of surfaces, not just these dowels, so that they have something different and they don't end up with foot problems. She has a bunch of cloth perches because she likes those. She doesn't have any swings because she doesn't use them. She doesn't particularly care for them. She always has a ton of bells. There's always this bell on the end of her boing. And then there's another one, like a little cluster of bells at the top. And then she really loves that bell. It is her friend. So I'm not going to take that one out because she would be upset. But, I like to swap the perches around. There are some, like the boing and the dowel rod, I never take out, but I move them around. I also give her multiple ladders usually because she likes ladders. And then, there's a regular wood perch, and then these cloth perches. I put these on the door because she likes to, or she used to like to come and sit at the door and look at me, but she hasn't really been using those much lately, so I might move those to give her something different. Anyway, I like to change things around a couple times a year to keep her interested. I usually give her some new toys she's never seen before. I throw away anything if it's too worn out, and I swap back in some stuff she hasn't seen in a while. So, there's always a couple things I try to keep in. I always try to have at least one cloth perch in there. Like I said, I never take out the boing. I want to have at least one ladder. And then I also... well, here, I'll show you. This cage, the bars are too wide for her, so I had to get her a different travel cage, but now I use it to store her shit. This is why I say she is the most spoiled. She also, because she's not a larger bird, she destroys stuff, but she doesn't tear through it as quickly. So, hang on. So, for example... Here is, one of these little palm leaf toys, and you can see, she's done some damage. She's been tearing at the edges, but, it hasn't really structurally destroyed anything. So I will just save this and probably swap it back in at some point when she hasn't seen it in 6 months or so. And then you see there's stuff like this. She likes these really thin wood popsicle stick things, and She chews on the edges and she breaks them. But, I saved this one. This was in her cage, and then it was in storage for a while. But I saved these because, there's really, it doesn't need to be thrown away because a couple of them are broken. I did finally just replace her. Believe it or not, that wooden ladder that is torn up to shit, she didn't used to be so into wood, but she's super into wood now, the past year or so. Believe it or not, I just replaced this less than a year ago. This is a brand new one. She has already fucked up a lot. That's fine. I certainly spend a lot less on toys than, somebody does who has a conure or an African gray or something. She's very tiny. Her little beak can only do so much. She also likes this. She likes this coconut fiber sometimes. She used to love these to death. They're these Westco is the company, bird kebabs. They sell them two ways. They have this little thing with the pre-started hollows so the bird can hollow them out the rest of the way. I actually have one of these around where I saved it just because I thought it was cool. This started out like this, just a little bit of a different size. She totally hollowed it out completely. That's just another toy stuck in there. And there's another new ladder I got her, a bending one. And she used to really like these, but I got her another one that it kind of has pieces of, here we go. It has pieces of that same material, but this was in there for like a year and she didn't touch it. So I'll swap this one back in and see, but maybe she's tired of that now. She's passed through that phase. I'll put some of these wood ones in. This one is brand new. Still got a tag on it, so I will probably swap that in. She hasn't seen it before. This is one of the original toys I bought her, but I don't think I've ever put it in the cage, so maybe that one too. And then, probably a couple of these little guys with the, the palm leaf, because she really does like the palm leaf. I actually have a whole string of it like this somewhere that, you can see where she's torn at. You cut off lengths of it and just weave it through the bars or tie it to stuff. Yeah. So, and the coconuts. She likes coconut toys. So I like to have a coconut in there. Which, sometimes you don't want to do this because female birds can get very hormonal and they decide they want to nest. And sometimes this can encourage that. If you've got multiple sexes, it can encourage breeding if they have a place to nest. But I actually have not found that to be true of her. So I don't have a problem usually putting those coconuts in there. So yeah, actually the only surprising thing right now is that she is just happily tinkling her bell. Normally she's screaming her head off when I do this because, like many budgie hens, she is extremely territorial. She does not like my hands in her cage because it's hers. But she's happy enough right now. All right, anyway, that is the biannual cage reorientation. And I am going to get on with this and finish up.